as a youngster. But I started playing in 1973, and since then I have been always it's become a passion of mine. And for over 40 years I have been collecting parts and components and all of this kind of thing. And then when I finally got a chance to put some time into that, which was after I had retired. I retired 3 years ago. Then I decided, okay, I'm going to get all this and really get it organized into a website. And if you want to click on the website, you can see the website there. But I have all of these organized as far as, I'm not going to do that here, but just so that you can see what these are. And I had never really thought all that much about them until Dr. Lewis said that he had gone through my website and he wanted to do this article. And I thought, why in the world would anyone want to do an article on a bunch of old banjos? Well, it made me start thinking, and so from that I came up with the idea of the levels of repurposing and how that dealt with authenticity. And so that's what I want to take a few minutes to deal with right now, and then we'll be finished with this. But again, you've seen how important the whole idea of authenticity is. In other words, if you're going to play a banjo, then if you're a dyed-in-the-wool, hardcore bluegrasser, you want to play a Gibson, Granada, preferably a 1934, you know, 2 numbers off from Earl on the factory order numbers, and so on. Well, most of us can't, you know, afford $300,000 for a pre-war Gibson banjo. So as a result, what we do, we work with these, and this is where the idea came up that I came up with for repurposing. And we have a lot of, all of these banjos right here are pre-war conversions. They're all made before World War II. Okay? Now I'm starting out with one here that may seem a little strange, but because it's not a Gibson. But this is a Vega. And the Vegas were very, very popular turn of the century up till probably the 1960s. And if you see Grandpa Jones, or if you see String Bean Aikman, you'll see them playing Vega banjos. And this particular banjo is what I would consider to be a level 1 repurposing. And what it amounts to is that the pot is pristine. It's just exactly, other than this head here. Now, it did not come with a head. This is a 1930 or 31 Vegaphone banjo pot. Okay, that's everything other than the neck. So the tone ring, the armrest, the tailpiece, the flange, the resonator, all of this is 1930-31. All right, now there are particular neck builders and banjo assemblers and builders that are very well known for taking tenor banjos. In other words, this banjo originally had this neck on it. So if you want to look at it, that would be the way that this banjo looked. And a friend of mine up in Pennsylvania by the name of Wyatt Foley found this banjo out in Kansas City, Missouri, at a guitar center of all places, that had been, nobody wanted to buy it, so he purchased it. And of course we were talking about him repurposing this, although most of the time we don't talk about it as repurposing. But basically he built the neck. Okay, that's a curly maple neck. And Wyatt Foley is one of the 2 or 3 builders of necks for Vegas, where he builds museum quality necks. And this, the pearl is all hand cut. It's hand engraved, all of this, and it's built on the pattern is you know, is based on a 1930s period Vega probably a number, I'd say this is probably a number 2. They have particular numbers. So this is what I would consider to be a level 1 repurposing. In other words, you take the tenor banjo and you add a 5-string neck to it. Hold on to the neck, because that's part of the provenance, the history. And from that, you have a banjo that is not original pre-war Vega, but it is a very, very good instrument that is still much better as far as authenticity goes than, say, a 1955 or a 1965 Vega, which the quality was not all that great.